holding law and order? Who is protecting the Constitution? Who is protecting human rights, civil rights, the water? Who is right and who is wrong? Who in that situation where you have armed, fully uniformed military officers facing off with unarmed, fully uniformed military officers, vets? Who is the traitor? Who is the traitor in that situation? Who is the patriot in that situation? Who is the terrorist? Who gets to define who is going to be a terrorist in the 21st century? The people who are willing to protect our sacred water, our sacred sites in our lands? Who loves this land? Americans should love this land 240 years after establishing this country. We should be patriots. We cannot let these guys define who is a patriot, who is a terrorist, and who is a traitor. Right there.
The reports of the treatment of the people who were arrested at Standing Rock is very, very disturbing. Is there legal action being taken against the people who perpetrated that treatment of the people arrested?
Yes, the question was on all these incidents of police brutality. And I say it again and again, it's corporate-sponsored, state-executed brutality in rights violations. That's what we're dealing with. The question is there anything being done to hold the violators accountable? And there is. There's the Water Protectors Legal Collective has a class action lawsuit relating to the police brutality. There is another lawsuit that LakotaLaw.org is working on. That's my nonprofit legal firm. It's headquartered in Santa Cruz. We are crafting a legal strategy that I can't talk too much about, but you can log on to our site or join our mailing list, and there's a couple of options that we need to consider. But that's one of the most important things in crafting the historical narrative. We cannot let this fire go out. We cannot let it patter out. We've got to stay strong. We've got to stay in the pocket, so to speak, and put out our media, craft our legal strategies, and present a strong, unified, progressive front. Because that's what's important. They say that the victors write the history. And they think they're the victors right now. You see all these guys with their little Confederate flags flying around, going around. Everybody in here who doesn't fit the Euro-hetero-patriarchy demographic, when after Trump got elected, we all walked around like we were going to face a microaggression that day. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in the airport, I was like, somebody's going to do something. I wish they would. It's a throwback to Bernie Mac. But there are things happening, and it's really, really, really important that we keep them going. Right back there.
Speaking of microaggressions, this man often interrupts spaces, so I just wanted to give that context. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to share and ask you to tell me from which Native American group had this, the Warriors of the Rainbow. And I don't know where that came from exactly, but I submit if you look forward in front of you, I believe this is the group of people that this prophecy is speaking about. And I also have information to share with anybody that's interested in prophecies and how you fit in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. That's a good question. And believe me, I was prepared to do battle on my live Facebook network here. That's a good question because where is the origin of prophecy? We hear about the black snake prophecy, that a black snake would come into our lands and that it would be a signal of the end times. There's the seventh generation prophecy, and then there is prophecy about how we would all come together. And I love prophecy, but what's more important to me is prophecy is impossible unless we work for it consciously and actively. So I believe in prophecy. I believe prophecies are powerful, but they don't happen unless we exercise our free will to make them happen. Yes. Yes, we're working on collaboration, on being able to collaborate with the ACLU. We don't, there's no formal agreement, but they've been there, they've been helpful, and we'll continue to, we've got to find a way to work with the ACLU.
Could you say something about that group of white middle-aged people that tried to sabotage a whole lot of different sites? It was sort of in the early part. They were recognizing that the water is coming down for everyone. I don't know. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? They got arrested. They tried to stop a whole lot of places where pipes were, and they did some real.
I'm not sure who you're talking about, but there's 800 people who've been arrested at the site, and then there was a lot of fights in Iowa, and a veteran stand. I think it's Veteran Stand for Peace. There's a lot of people who risked liberty, but I can't think of in particular who you might be talking of. Okay, right there. She asked about another lawsuit that has been filed, and I don't know the details of it, but it's called Jumping Eagle versus Trump. I think that's what you're speaking of. So just Google Jumping Eagle versus Trump to read those pleadings. I'm not familiar with the contents or the legal theories and arguments that are being put forth there. Yeah, right there in the back.
Annalisa mentioned the local group, Sonoma Solidarity and Standing Rock. So if you're interested in getting involved or finding out ways that you can support this whole fight, you can find us on Facebook. If you just look for Sonoma Solidarity and Standing Rock, we have an email list and we welcome participation.
We really need young people. Come on, man. We really need you.
We really need people to join the new divestment group.
And help with tech and social media, and we're a really great group. And these are passed around. Please join us.
So anybody with the Snapchat, they need your help. Was there right here? Yeah, right there. Yes.